All right, and we are live on a rare Sunday Sunday evening, doing a Wrestling Talk Sunday episode. The title speaks for itself, pretty much. We're here to talk about Kurt Angle Sting and the 100% for sure return of Ric Flair. I'm your host, Tony, and your other host, the bizarre one, Dave. How are you today?
Good.
Good to know. Josh was not answering our texts and stuff, so you're missing out. Oh well, it's just a two-man booth tonight, and we'll just jump right into it. I believe it was the night after Raw, or the day after Raw, Sting tweeted out a cryptic message on Twitter stating the one date, which is 7/14/14, which is ironically tomorrow, and it is on a Monday night. So there's speculations going around everywhere that Sting is returning for this and that. So we thought maybe we could come on here and just, shoot the shit and give our little opinions on what we think may happen. We'll also mention on the show Kurt Angle possibly returning to the WWE, which is looking like more like a possibility. We'll also mention TNA Impact from this past Thursday, as we found out the main event of Destination X, and also give our thoughts about the show in its entirety. And I'm about to kill my dog because he's biting a chair. And also talk about tomorrow night. We will have no post-show on the network, but they'll be airing a WCW Nitro documentary, kind of, I guess. I'm thinking...
the biography you get from the DVDs.
Yes, I'm thinking this is more of a thing to... Well, we'll get into it. I'll give my little opinion on why they may be showing it. And then, if we have some time, we'll give our thoughts about SmackDown from this last Friday. Well, let's just jump right into it, Dave. Sting tweeted out 7/14/14. There's rumors going around that he may return on Raw, that he's coming for the video game. He may not even be on Raw. He may be in a video package for the video game. What are your thoughts about this?
He also tweeted out a picture, too, with him in makeup as well.
Yes, he did that as well. And I don't know where these people are getting these pictures of him in an NXT ring. I don't know if it's photoshopped. They also, when it says, it has his name on it in the NXT logo thing. And I don't know if it's photoshopped. I don't know if you've seen that, Dave. I've seen a couple.
I haven't.
Tweeted out, and it says Steve Burton. It doesn't say Sting. So it says Steve Burton. Could he possibly maybe be the GM possibly of NXT? I mean,
I think if they bring Sting in and put him on TV, it's not going to be as the GM of NXT. They're going to bring him straight.
I mean, if they want people to get the network, it's a little of a way to entice him a little bit. I don't want to see him as the NXT general manager. I don't even want to see him as the Raw general manager. I just want him to be on Raw, which I think is what's going to happen. I'm kind of 50-50 on if he's going to be on Raw or not. Like in the ring on Raw.
Which would be so awesome to see.
I think he deserves it. More than deserves to be out in a full WWE ring and get a standing ovation, which he would get.
Yeah.
And just announce why he's there, and announce that most likely he's there for the video game. Because there's no way that Sting is coming back and they're going to force him right into a storyline right away. I just don't see it happening.
I would love to see him have like one match in the WWE. Even if it's just one match. I would love to see Sting if it happens, it's going to be at WrestleMania. It's not going to be anytime soon, but it would be really cool to see Sting put in the Hall of Fame next year, which is more than likely. And then get one match, you know.
It's like his retirement match, so to speak.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that. And I actually hope the WWE see that he does get I hope he is the main attraction for Hall of Fame. And I wouldn't even mind if they had like a WCW, edition of a Hall of Fame where they get some of the WCW guys.
Well, they have done
in the Hall
that.
of Fame.
You know, like they've nominated like the Horsemen, where they were all basically Flair, but they were as the Horsemen as a group was from the NWA/WCW basically.
Yeah, and like Goldberg, I think he would be perfect because he was made in WCW. Then came over to WWE. You know, Booker T, yeah, but they already did Booker T. We all know Chris Benoit is not going into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. If this thing didn't happen, we all know, even though a lot of people don't like to talk about it, he would be a Hall of Famer. His wrestling credentials would make him a Hall of Famer.
110%. Without the tragedy of Chris Benoit, what he did to his family, Chris Benoit is a Hall of Famer, without a doubt.
Yeah.
I mean, hands down. But we'll not get into that. But yeah, what do you think happens tomorrow night whenever this happens? It's going to be at the top of the hour. They know it's going to be at the top of the hour. I don't think it's going to be heading the lead into Raw. So what do you think happens when Sting finally makes his debut? What do we see him in a video package? Do we see him in a ring? What do you think happens?
I really hope, more than likely, he'll do like we did with Ultimate Warrior last year. He's gonna come out, or they're gonna show a video of Sting like little walking or doing something for like similar to what Ultimate Warrior did, where he's gonna be in the video game, which will be the first time ever, which would be awesome to see. I hope this video game, since they're doing this whole Monday Night Wars thing really soon, it'd be so cool if it was featured like the main story was featured like the Monday Night Wars. Or a bunch of WCW guys in the game, and you could relive Monday Night Wars on the video game.
I mean, they can always go that route, but so your opinion that Sting is there mainly for the video game? Do you see him in any kind of physical action?
I was just saying, I really hope he's on Raw, because that would be a huge Raw moment to see Sting in a Raw ring. And people might not like to hear this. It's going to be, if it happens, and he is in a Raw ring, or even just for the video package, it's going to be all thanks to Triple H.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm sure Vince McMahon had a little hand in it, but it's mainly Triple H, yes.
Yeah, but he brought in Ultimate Warrior last year when he was basically didn't want nothing to do with the WWE, and then he got him to come in, and then now Sting. He's been trying to get Sting for the past 2 or 3 years, I believe.
Yeah, so we all know the perfect scenario, or the dream scenario is, I heard it on another show, that, you know, Roman Reigns is getting beat down by Orton and Rollins, and, you know, you can have Triple H out there, sure. And Sting comes out and saves the day, and it ends the show. Of course, everybody would love to see that. We would love to see Sting come down from the rafters. I mean, I'm sure they wouldn't go that route, but, you know,
or show
the
Sting in the rafters, which would be really cool.
Yeah, I mean, it would be nice to see him get into some kind of physicality, maybe setting up something towards down the line at WrestleMania, but I don't see that happening. I really do think...
There's only one guy that's still wrestling I could see actually have... I mean, yeah, there's young guys they could use, but is a young guy going to really sell a lot? Probably not with Sting. What would be a big moneymaker, I think, if it was WrestleMania next year? Say Sting versus Triple H.
See, I like that idea, but my thing, and I know a lot of people probably would not like to see it, maybe even you probably would not like to see it, but I think the perfect scenario for Sting at WrestleMania, if it's, you know, of course, The Undertaker is number one, but I don't see that happening. But number two, I think the perfect matchup, and it kind of makes sense, would be Sting versus Randy Orton.
Ooh.
Randy Orton, the Legend Killer.
He did drop the Legend Killer name this past week on SmackDown. So that would be really cool. Orton versus the Legend Sting.
Yeah, or the Icon. You know, it's just...
we'd call him a legend and try to,
Yeah,
trying to do
yeah.
the whole.
And I think that would be the perfect scenario. I mean, it would be
I wouldn't mind
awesome.
that at all. Think of
Uh,
yeah, that'd be awesome, man. I wouldn't mind that. They can go any route if they do have one match. I mean, Sting versus Orton, Sting versus Triple H, Sting versus almost any those top guys. Those are the only two guys I could, besides Undertaker, which is the ultimate dream match I would love to see. Unless that match doesn't happen, which would be, if it does, I would want to see that match more than anything. But other than Undertaker, Triple H or Orton to me is like the perfect opponents for Sting if he comes in and has a match.
yeah. I honestly think Sting's gonna come out to the ring tomorrow and then announce about the video game, and they're gonna show some kind of video package or some sort of who's gonna be in it, like the legends and maybe some video game footage. Who knows? But I really don't think Sting is debuting on WWE, but he will be on there talking about the game. If someone comes down to the ring and says something to him, like they usually do, just to get some kind of cheap pop, who knows?
Or maybe he comes out to promote his DVD.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah, they are coming out with a DVD, I'm sure, of Sting.
Yeah, I heard like September or something supposed to come out. But I mean, yeah, it would be really cool to see like, if they showed a video package of Sting like talking about the video game, and then all of a sudden he comes out.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be really cool. I mean, I hope Sting does show up there because that would be like a huge moment.
If Sting doesn't come on, or if it's not on WWE, I think it's going to be a huge letdown.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people were already speculating in the IWC. I guess you can consider us the IWC too, but like Sting's gonna come back, and I don't know if he's like gonna come back. Like he's given his life to wrestling, so I mean he's probably enjoying this time that he's had off.
Yeah.
But for him never to be ever, he's the only guy that never came from WCW to the WE. He's the only guy who never came there.
Yep.
I mean, that would be one of the biggest star, actually.
Yeah. But let's just move on and talk about another possible return, and that is Kurt Angle, who recently declined a extension from TNA, and also was said to be saying that he wants and will go to the WWE back again. So, your thoughts on this, Dave? Do you think that Kurt Angle shows up in the next couple of months?
I didn't hear him say he wants to go. The only thing I heard was that his next contract that he signs, he's going to really think about it because it's going to be his last one. I didn't hear him say he's definitely going to go to the WWE. So
I was hearing, I guess a name drop on the PWR show. They were saying that during the WrestleMania weekend, fans would come up to Kurt Angle and ask him, "Are you coming back to the WWE?" And he would say yes. He also went on a WWE rehab under TNA's contract. He also has been saying that he would come back to WWE while he is under TNA's contract. So it's just kind of fishy that he's doing all this stuff while still under a TNA contract. It seems like he's trying to get on the good side of WWE, so he can possibly make a return.
Well, if he did, that would be another headline. If Sting is coming there and he's going to be there, Sting and Kurt Angle to me would be two headlines for the Hall of Fame.
Do you see people saying negative or comments because there's another two old guys coming back to the WWE, filling possibly, Daniel Bryan, Ziggler, Swagger, someone's spot on a pay-per-view?
No, because none of these guys are really selling out or doing. I'm not trying to talk bad about Dolph Ziggler or Daniel Bryan. Those are the guys. Daniel Bryan, let's face it, could be out for another year maybe. So we don't know when he's even going to come back. Dolph Ziggler, they haven't really given, like you and Josh both said, they haven't really given Dolph Ziggler the spot to shine. But a Kurt Angle versus whoever at a WrestleMania next year, that would be a bigger draw than Dolph Ziggler versus anybody at WrestleMania. I'm sorry, but that's the truth.
Well, right now, yes, it's true.
If you had Brock Lesnar versus Kurt Angle at WrestleMania, not saying people want to see that match again, but that would be a bigger draw than Dolph Ziggler versus anybody.
I mean, I mean, it's tough for me to agree with you on that one because I'm really a Ziggler fan, and I just very very salty at WWE how they have treated Dolph Ziggler. But I mean, I see your point because they're two iconic men, two massive men that you know, they were WWE a couple of years ago when WWE was.
Still want to hold on, like fans like us still want to hold on to that little bit of our childhood where we see like the guys in the Attitude Era coming back to having matches. That'd be really cool, like seeing Kurt Angle finally get put into a real Hall of Fame instead of a potluck.
Yeah, I
mean, Jeff Hardy to me is another guy who I would love to see come back and have another run in the WWE.
Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see it. But yeah, Kurt Angle possibly back to the WWE. It could happen.
Do you like that idea?
What's that?
Do you like the idea of Kurt Angle coming back?
Yeah. Well, I mean, he won't be full time, but I mean, I wouldn't mind him coming back for a few dream matches of mine. But I think it'd be pretty cool if he showed up at the Royal Rumble. But
yeah, something like that, right around WrestleMania time. Yeah, that'd be great.
But we don't know. We have no idea. But that's just speculation and a little bit of rumors going around about Kurt Angle.
Kurt Angle has said the past few years, right around WrestleMania time, he's like, man, this is the time I miss being a part of the W right now is on WrestleMania.
Yes.
And he said it numerous times.
Mm-hmm. But, yeah, that's a little info and news about Sting and Kurt Angle coming to the WWE, possibly. Sting, pretty much 100% for sure. Kurt Angle, we have no idea, but just speculation, folks. But go ahead.
I was saying I can see it because, like he said, he turned down a TNA contract. His contract expires, I believe, in September.
Yes.
So by the Rumble, by somewhere around the Rumble, you can see even possibly a Kurt Angle come back, or even bring Kurt Angle back for the little Tough Enough thing, which would be interesting.
Mm-hmm. It's all up in the air. We have no idea. But let's just we'll move on. We got a couple of more things to talk about before we end the show. TNA's NYC tapings / Impact from last Thursday. We found out the main event from Destination X, which will be Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy, who is no longer Willow. Kurt Angle this past Thursday kind of convinced Jeff Hardy, or Willow if you have you, to turn back to the regular form, and he did in the Battle Royal, which they announced that the winner of the Battle Royal will be the #1 contender going into Destination X and will face Bobby Lashley, who is your TNA World Champion at the moment. Your thoughts on Impact this past Thursday, Dave? We also we had what match? We had Aries for the Division X. For the X Division title against Sonata. We had the main event, which was the Battle Royal. And, gosh, I'm trying to think of some other match.
We had the Knockouts title.
Yes, Kel Kim retains the championship. You and I kind of had different thoughts on this match, the Sonata and Aries match.
I thought it was a good match. First time I've ever seen them wrestle each other.
I thought it was good. I guess it was just the same old stuff to me. I was, I guess, expecting better or more, because I know they have it in them, especially that Sonata fella. I know he's better than that, but it was a good match. It was definitely the best match of the night, because the Battle Royal, my goodness, was sloppy. It was just.
They got Battle Royals.
I mean, they had an opportunity to. It was that one moment in the Battle Royal where Rude and Storm back each other. They hit each other back to back, and they turn around and they see each other. And what does TNA do? They go to a commercial break. And I'm like, wow, that could have been a perfect opportunity to, talk about them used to being tag champions and how they feuded for a while and yada yada yada. But it just seemed so sloppy. And then Jeff Hardy wins the Battle Royal over Eric Young. They were the last two in the match. And now at Destination X, we're gonna get Bobby Lashley, Jeff Hardy. Are you excited for that match?
I mean, it's going to sell tickets to their show, which it already did, I assume. Jeff Hardy. Not so much Bobby Lashley, but Jeff Hardy more than anything. Because people still like Jeff Hardy, and they still want to see him.
Yeah, and Destination X is on regular TV. It's not on pay-per-view. I guess they feel like with the WWE Network, they don't think people are going to spend $50 or whatever have you on this pay-per-view right now, when I don't think TNA is doing very well ratings-wise and so on and so forth. But I heard these NYC tapings coming up are pretty impressive. The only thing I don't like is I've heard a lot of people returned during that NYC tapings. I won't mention who, and then they're gone. They didn't even re-sign them, which I didn't think made sense. So they threw out all this, they threw out these
contracts and all that.
yeah, they threw the punches during these NYC tapings so they can impress people, but then it seems like they're going to go back to being crap after the NYC tape. That's what I just don't understand. I don't like how they...
It's kind of like what they would do at ECW. We're not saying they would do exactly like that, but like a big show or something, they'd have a bunch of people just pop up and show up.
Yeah.
Just wow factor.
Yeah. And I don't like how they have these impacts so far pre-taped. It's just ridiculous.
It's like the same thing with Ring of Honor. That's one thing. It's hard for people to get into Ring of Honor well, too. They do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, they're like a month in advance.
It's just really hard to... I mean, Ring of Honor, to me, I could be okay with because I enjoy the wrestling and I enjoy the storylines at the moment. But with TNA, it just seems... It's like, my God, didn't we see this match last week? And it just seems like they're so tired by the third show that it just doesn't... I just don't care for it. But we will be back next week doing TNA Impact reviews, and we're going to see how those go. I'm sorry?
Is next week the six-sided ring?
Yes, they also go back to the six-sided ring. I forgot to mention that. Thank you, Dave. And also, these next 3 weeks, we will be doing Impact/Destination X reviews. And if we do, pretty good view-wise, then we'll bring it back. Or if we feel very interested in TNA again, we'll start doing them again. This is a little test run, because before we started doing Raw reviews, TNA Impacts were our #1 watch thing on our channel. And probably half the subscribers and views that we get from this channel are people who are TNA fans. So we will definitely be bringing that back, and we hope people actually tune in and check it out. Also, another returning guy to the WWE, switching to WWE, is Ric Flair, who came back last night at a WWE house show in New York. He is back, past the physical and all that mess. What do you think is going to be the role of Ric Flair?
I don't know if you heard, before I get done, I don't know if you heard about this, but in Tokyo, Japan, I believe it was, wherever they were at this past week.
Oh, yes.
Kenta, a longtime ROH star, Kenta, signed with the WWE.
Yes.
Now he's only 34 years old, so we'll see if they actually use him at all, or he's just going to be brought in for his namesake. I don't know. But ironically enough, he was the guy who originally started using the Go to Sleep, and then CM Punk started using it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Kenta, the new signee of the WWE. Forgot to mention that. Thanks, Dave. But yeah, back to Ric Flair. What do you think will be his role? A lot of rumors have it that he's going to be joined with The Miz. I really hope not. But what do you think?
Kind of a bad guy now. And from what I heard about last night's New York taping, or New York house show, was that Triple H and Ric Flair kind of went back and forth a little bit on the mic, where they grabbed the mic from each other, kind of like Flair's playing the good guy and Triple H is playing the bad guy.
Oh, okay.
What.com listens to what you want.
So it makes sense to have it go that route. I mean, if Ric Flair is a face, what the hell is he gonna do? That's my thing.
Maybe, I mean, do you put him on like a Dolph Ziggler who could really use him?
I wouldn't mind it. That's something I would not mind.
Who else is there really out there right now? Unless you're using to bring up a young star. Who else
Yeah.
can you really put him with?
Good question. But looks like he may be returning tomorrow night on Raw as well. So
I mean, we're going to be stacked with managers. This has been a long time. I mean, last year, I don't think we had like any managers at all last year, besides Paul Heyman. Oh no, because Zeb was there last year. But so like this year, if Flair comes back to manage somebody, hopefully it's a younger guy too. That'd be kind of nice. I mean, we could see a lot of really cool things with managers like we used to back in the '90s.
Yeah. So if you're looking forward. Go ahead.
I like the idea of Ric Flair coming back.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to bring in ratings, hopefully. Maybe you put him on the WWE Network this week, too. That'll help that out a little bit.
It definitely doesn't hurt putting him on the network. Let's get to the last little tidbit of little information we have on the video tonight, and let's get into what they will be showing after Raw tomorrow night. And that is the WCW Nitro. It's like a Beyond the Ring WCW Nitro. I guess a documentary. You said that they've shown this before. Are you 100% sure?
Not on the network, but on the DVD.
Okay, are you 100% sure that they're showing what they showed on the DVD?
Well, I'm not 100% sure, but everything I've seen that they've done, it's all been like biographies from their best of DVDs.
Yes.
And I got the volume 2 of Nitro, and it shows almost the exact same thing. They say look back at like Nitro with talking about the Nitro girls and.
Well, yeah, and I think this is
the rise.
And I think they're doing this so you can get introduced to WCW.
Yeah,
and
that could be.
See how it all came about and who's in it and what all came down in WCW to lead up to the WCW WWE Monday Night Wars I guess episodes that are going to be showing, and then possibly later down the line we get WCW Nitro replays like they have Raw replays.
Well, I think with that Monday Night War we got last week, I mean, that really to me, it focused more on WCW than it did the WWE a little bit, that first episode. That first episode was taken from, like, I don't know, I'm sure you had the DVD at one point too, I'm not sure, but the Monday Night Wars DVD they put out a while back.
Mm-hmm. I really thought that episode was very well done.
Yes, it was just a lot of old interviews. That's what you really want to see, some new ones too, like I do too. I want to see some of the current stars talking about it as well.
Yeah.
Not so much like in recent footage. I would love to see Vince McMahon talking about it too. Not some old footage, but like all the footage we've seen from that first episode was basically off. There's a DVD out there, so you can find it at some FYE store or whatever it's called. But it's like the Monday Night Wars DVD, and they basically took it from there, I believe. Like all their stuff they put in was from that, I believe.
Yeah.
So they didn't really give you a spoiler look at the episode. That was basically what's already out there.
Yes, and it was very, very well done, and I'm very, very looking forward to seeing the other episodes. It was very, very. I liked it a lot. I liked it a lot. I liked it so far.
It was freaking awesome, I thought.
What was that?
That Lex Luger thing was pretty cool, I thought. I was like, wow, I didn't really know that whole situation like that.
Yeah, I like how they pretty much they explain things. They told you stories
Yep.
and how each other they stole each other's people, and these guys are going here, these guys are going there. Luger left, the day after his contract was over. It was just craziness, and that's what WCW did.
And I
I mean,
like how they
WWE
showed the
guys
ratings too. They actually showing like the ratings compared how WCW beat them a year straight.
Yeah, and if you definitely have the WWE Network, check it out. It's going to probably be starting to show in the fall. But yeah, it should be very good little episodes there. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up the show. We talked about pretty much everything we needed to talk about. Really didn't mention too much about SmackDown because there's not very much to mention about SmackDown. Other than that, they announced more matches on the Battleground.
Now, or we mention it next week. It don't matter.
Yeah, we get to the new. A couple of matches they announced. They're going to get a rematch for the Divas title between AJ and Paige.
This is actually the first match, though.
I'm sorry?
I look at this more as the first match.
Okay, fair enough, because they're going to get a full 10 to 15 minutes.
The last two matches were like less than 5 minutes long.
Yeah, I feel you on that. And then they also announced Rollins versus Ambrose at Battleground. And
That surprised me.
Also, as always, we got the I think tag titles. Am I wrong about that?
Yes, and a 2 out of 3 falls match.
And the 2 out of 3 falls, which is very interesting. I think this match is going to be excellent. All of their matches have been pretty good.
Tag match.
And I think the Wyatts will win. And then the other matches that they have already announced, of course, the Fatal 4-Way match. Yeah, the Y2J Bray Wyatt. So yeah, that's pretty much it on the SmackDown. I'm sorry?
I was saying we got Divas match, the Battle Royal Rollins and Ambrose, the World Title match. It's about 7 matches, I believe.
Pretty stacked card for a mediocre pay-per-view name. Because usually these pay-per-views are kind of like, and then we go to SummerSlam.
This pay-per-view is in October, I believe, and right before Hell in the Cell in the same month. We were complaining about this last year about being 2 pay-per-views right there in the same month.
Mm-hmm. Good point, Dave. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up this video. We will be back tomorrow night for sure, right after Raw. We will not be preempted, because last week me and Dave both wanted to watch the Monday Night Wars episode, so that pretty much.
Luckily, we did.
Yeah, and that pretty much kept us away from doing our review at the usual time. But we will be back with the usual time about 10 minutes after Raw is over. So we'll just go with 11:30 Eastern, and we will discuss everything that happens on Raw and give our thoughts and opinions on everything that happens. And then we will be back again on Thursday with the bringing back Thursday Night Impact reviews, and we'll see how that all goes, and then we go from there.
Maybe try this weekend again next weekend for our prediction show, or maybe during the week. We'll see.
Yes, definitely, for sure. But all in all, we thank everybody for watching. We had about 2 or 3 viewers watching during a Sunday night, so I appreciate people just popping in and checking us out.
Hey, don't forget to subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe, please, just so we can see how we're doing, how our videos are doing, and if we're hitting well with other people. And also comment and like our videos if you have any questions or anything. I didn't put the Q&A, which I kind of regret now since we had viewers. I didn't think we're gonna have anybody watch. Should have put that on. Maybe people would have asked us some questions, but that's here nor there. We'll be back tomorrow night. Any last words, Dave?
Follow us on Twitter, subscribe, and we'll see you tomorrow night.
Yes, I will definitely put our Twitter handles in the subject box down below, like I did in our last video. And like Dave said, we will be back tomorrow night with a WWE Raw review, and let's all hope that Sting is there tomorrow night in the ring. Everybody have a great night, and see you guys tomorrow.